The Federal Reserve has been climbing a mountain to combat stubborn inflation, so fast that it raised its benchmark interest rate 11 times in 16 months, then left it unchanged for more than a year. But now,
the committee decided to lower the target range for the federal funds rate by a half percentage point.
Now is a make-or-break moment for the Fed.
While prices have cooled, an uptick in unemployment has reignited warnings of
a recession.
And so the question now is, can they stick the landing?
The central bank likes to keep inflation around 2%. That became a problem in the aftermath of the pandemic. Prices grew well above the 2% mark, eventually surpassing 7% in 2022.
For the last 2 years, inflation was the big emergency that was occupying all of the Fed's attention. When the Fed was raising interest rates, they thought the economy was going to have to slow down a lot more than it has.
I wish there were a completely painless way to restore price stability. There isn't. And this is the best we can do.
And what's happened is the economy's done pretty well, and inflation's come down anyway.
By July, the Fed managed to bring inflation closer to 2.5%. And with prices easing, economists have turned their attention toward troubling signs in the labor market. The U.S. economy added 142,000 jobs in August, a slight rebound from the summer's slump in hiring, but a notable decline from a year ago.
The cooling in labor market conditions is unmistakable.
It's harder to stop a rise in the unemployment rate once demand for workers has cooled. I mean, what you're seeing right now is businesses saying we just don't need workers the way we did a couple of years ago.
The Fed can try to avoid further erosion by cutting the federal funds rate, or the rate that commercial banks pay when they borrow from each other. Those cuts, in turn, can lead to reduced rates on loans, meaning lower borrowing costs for consumers in the form of mortgages, car loans, and credit cards. They can also create an incentive for businesses to invest in expansion and hiring.
The Fed can cut interest rates for two reasons. One would be you're actually trying to stimulate the economy. You could also cut interest rates, including in the current situation, just because they don't need to be as high as they've been. You don't need to slow down the economy as much as you had over the past year or two when inflation was much higher.
Back to the mountain that the Fed spent the last 2 years climbing. Starting from historically low interest rates near zero in early 2022, the central bank eventually hiked to rates between 5.25% and 5.5% by July 2023, and stayed there.
Now they're coming down the mountain, but nobody really knows where base camp is going to be. How far down are you going to go, and how fast should you get there?
Fed officials have largely agreed on the path forward since June 2022, but in recent months, two routes down to base camp have emerged.
Earlier this year, you heard a lot of people saying, look, this economy's doing all right. The economy's adding jobs, the unemployment rate is at a historically low level. Why rush this? You have a Fed Governor Mickey Bowman, the Kansas City Fed President Jeff Schmidt saying,
I still believe quite strongly that we really need to trend this inflation number towards 2. It has to be sustainable.
The danger is that if the labor market starts to weaken a little bit more, it could weaken a lot more, and then you're having to cut more aggressively.
The other camp argues more aggressive rate cuts could preempt a serious decline in employment.
Now that you have the labor market slowing down, these people are saying, let's get ahead of this. Let's not have a recession that isn't necessary to finish the job on inflation. There have been a number of Fed officials, the Fed Governor Adriana Kugler, the Chicago Fed President Austin Goolsbee, who have been more insistent in saying,
we've got to keep our eye on the employment side of the mandate now. This is what the path down to 2% inflation looks like.
The danger, of course, of going too fast is, well, what if some new shock hits the economy and inflation kicks back up? That would be very destabilizing to have interest rates go back up, for the Fed to say, whoops, we cut too much. We need to start climbing this mountain again.
The Fed announced at its September meeting that it would cut rates by 50 basis points, starting on a faster path down the mountain.
We thought about what to do, and we concluded that this was the right thing for the economy, for the people that we serve, and that's how we made our decision.
A 50 basis point interest rate cut signals more urgency here. They raised rates a lot, and they raised rates in large increments on the way up. And so now that inflation seems like it's under control, but there are more risks of a bigger slowdown in the job market than they want, they're going to take back some of those interest rate cuts more rapidly too.
But I think you can take this as a sign of our commitment not to get behind.
And so there'll be big questions now around, well, do you expect to do this again in November and in December and early next year? How fast do you think you're going to take back the interest rate increases that you made in 22 and 23?
As the Fed charts its way forward, a lot remains at stake for the economy and Powell in the months ahead.
It would put Powell on the Mount Rushmore of central bankers if he can stick the landing. Is the economy just going through a soft patch, or is it falling into the recession that has been long predicted by many economists? The next 6 months could be pivotal to determining which of those we're seeing unfold here.
Yo, what's up, friends? It's your host, Carlos Cortez, here with another episode of Scriptures and Wall Street. I gotta say, we've been at this for a long time, 4 years now. I'm not stopping. I enjoy doing this, and I'll continue to do this for as long as I have a voice and a brain and a tongue, and they don't censor me, which I've already been part of. Man, have I been censored. Holy smokes. If you're friends with me on Facebook, you would know I'm in jail all the time, and YouTube has kicked me out. All good. It's me versus them. It's us versus them. I can be the David and they can be the Goliath all day, every day. I'm okay with that. But what I want to do is really point out that I'm not okay with you being a victim of what's going to happen. So I want to let you know things before it does happen so that you and your family are prepared. There's no need to be victim of what is happening now and what is about to happen. And depending on who you're listening to, you've been hearing about this for a long time. And maybe it's our belief system, our bias system, that we don't like our current administration, Kamala or Biden or Obama, or whoever running the show, whether it's Hillary, George Soros, or some crazy oligarch out there, New World Order. It really doesn't matter, guys. So what we have to understand is that this whole thing is freaking rigged. Like, everything is pre-planned. Everything. And I'm going to show you some charts here, but in 2001, right before 2001, they lowered the interest rates. 2001 happened. And in 2007, they lowered the interest rates. 2008 happened. In 2019, they lowered the interest rates. And guess what happened? The pandemic. 2020. 2024, here we go. Today, or September 18th. They lowered the interest rates, not by 25 basis points, but double of what they've been doing over the past decade. So this screams a massive panic from the Feds trying to lowering interest rates, trying to cool off the economy. But every time they've lowered the interest rates, it's like, all right, we're going to give you shoulder pads. We're going to give you a helmet. We're going to give you a jock strap with a cup. Because you're about to get hit hard. And it doesn't hurt as much if we give you some padding, aka lower interest rates. So what could happen next? Could it be a terrorist attack? Could it be a bank failure? Could it be another scandemic? Could it be an election year? Could it be a rigged election? Could it be a massive nuclear cyber attack? I have no idea. The sky is the limit. But history has shown us over the last 3 problematic eras in the market that every time they lower the interest rates, something crazy happens. And I'm prepared for it all, man. And that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't care if the stock market fails. I don't care if the dollar crashes. I don't care if the bank fails. I don't care if there's a rising interest rate environment or there's credit default swaps. I don't care if America defaults on its treasuries. I don't care what happens because we have planned for it all. Cyber attack, Russian attack, tokenization, CBDCs. We have prepared for it to the best of my ability. Now, there's different types of monies in this situation. You have retirement money for those of you that just want to retire safely, securely, and have a guaranteed environment. We got a program for you. For those of you that are afraid of the overtaxation of your money, we have a program for you. For those of you that want to get out of your IRAs and get into a principal protected account that will grow tax-free, they can borrow against it, we have a program for you. For those of you that want to be in the market and want to trade and want to make capital appreciation and don't mind paying your fair share of taxes, we have a program for you. Like, everybody's different. But what we need to understand is that there has to be a balance. You just can't say, all right, I'm gonna buy precious metals. I'm gonna buy precious metals, call it a day because the dollar's gonna crash. That's what they want us to think. They think we're that dumb. They think that we're that dumb that we're gonna put all of our eggs in precious metals. And even worse, inside of an IRA, which we don't even own, by the same people that are manipulating the banks and the stock market. They're manipulating the price of silver. And I'll show you the charts and I'll prove it to you. But of course, a lot of the network sponsors don't want to hear it because the gold guys and the silver guys all advertise on conservative podcast networks. Doesn't matter where you're listening to me. That is the truth. Because they figured out that people buy with their emotions. And you know what the left thinks of us? The left thinks that we're so dumb that we follow Donald Trump in everything that he does. And that's a huge setup. It's a huge setup, guys. Like, we become vulnerable. Let me tell you something about money. Money doesn't care about your conservative values. It doesn't care about your liberal values. It does not care about anything. Wall Street will make money off of your psychological biases. Seriously. They will make money off your psychological biases, your political biases, your religious biases. It's been happening for decades. And that's okay. Up until now, there's a solution. Up until now, you're going to stop. Up until now, you have the truth. Up until now, you have ways that you can see them coming before it even hits us. They're giving us the football pads. They're giving us the helmet, the cup, the protection. It's coming, dog. Like, for real, it's coming. Every time they've lowered interest rates, we get smacked. And I'm going to show you the charts here in a second, but the first key component that we're going to look at is the volatility index. The volatility index gives us a gauge of the fear and greed that is happening. The volatility index, and I'm going to go back to the history here. So and this is my weekly chart. Back in 2020, we had a low volatility index of roughly where we're at right now, around 13, 12, 70 to 13 hovering. Boom, COVID happened. They lowered interest rates back around here. I got a buy signal, went up a little bit, and then I got a death cross, and it went down. Then I got a buy signal with no green box. Usually when I get the green box, it's going to go up. 90% chance. So this blue box is a warning that it will go up, and boom, it just shot up. COVID hit, pandemic. This was when we had market halts back in 2020. It went to 42. Scan over to April 2024. We had a sell, went down. Obviously, we had some corrections earlier this year, but now the market rallied. And so the volatility index, actually, the market did not rally. It was going down. So when the VIX goes down, typically the market's up. When it goes up, typically the market's down. But now I get a blue box. So look at all of my blue box history. Back here in 22, it went up. That means market went down. This big red dark pool, red cloud, means a lot of institutional selling. So you see these big red clouds here, a lot of selling. Blue box shot up, a lot of selling, guys, a lot of selling. Fear and greed shot up. Blue box, it shot up, more red clouds. Got a death cross here. Went down. Another blue box back in September 2014. Shot up. Look at this one. You guys remember this one back in August 11. I got a blue box shot up. All right. So blue box back in 2007. Of course, we had 2008 over here. So whenever I get a blue box, like literally 90% of the time, it goes up. I mean, this is the past 20 years, guys. This is actual real data. This is not some like pie in the sky crap. Oh, I think blah, 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 blah. This is not me predicting. This is not me saying, oh, my hunch in my stomach. This is not me listening to some podcaster that has no financial background. That's just doing it for the views. I could care less about the views. I'm just doing it because I want to do it. I want to spread the truth out. And look, I got a blue box with green traffic lights. That means this is going to go up. Our volatility index will go up, meaning the market's going down. That's one way to look at it. I can't guarantee it. It's just my opinion. And for those of you that are listening, I'm not giving investment advice. I'm just speaking my opinion. Also, this is used for information and education purposes only. Do not take any stock tips or trades or any investments based on this podcast. You can give us a call, 813-448-3446, or visit us online at cortezwm.com. So here it is. I get a blue box back in June. That means a golden cross is coming to happen and the market will go up. Well, it did go up. And this is on the S&P 500. Now we're starting to see some like slow of momentum here. So the momentum's getting slower. You see, this was huge momentum going from 2020 all the way to 2022, and then it lost momentum. The swings are getting less and less. Like, look at this massive swing. Boom. Massive momentum. Massive momentum. All right. So we're losing that momentum. And with the volatility index having a blue box, which is a golden cross, forming, we are going to see some volatility. Now, the question is, are you ready for it? Like, what are you doing today? What are you doing today to protect your principal? This is the S&P 500. It's never always going to go up. It goes up about 74% of the time. But it's around that 25 to 26% of the time where you get hurt. Where back in 01 and 08 and in 2020, it took you 4 to 6 years to make your money back. And if you lost money in COVID, it only took you about 6 to 8 months. We had a V-shaped type of rebound, which is extremely rare. It never really happens. So guys, what I'm saying is that you got to have the tactical management. You got to position your assets where they can shift from treasuries to commodities to S&P to NASDAQ. And it's got to be like completely automated. Because if you don't have this, you will get smacked up. You'll get smacked up pretty bad, actually. And so I want to provide a solution because many of you are running around with no seatbelt. You're just saying, oh, I'm at Edward Jones, Morgan Stanley, Ameriprise, and my advisor is an awesome guy. He goes to my church. His son and my son play baseball together. Whatever. See how that works when it comes to your retirement. So I got a golden cross and a green cross on XPXL, which is the S&P 500, 3 times the leverage. It is booming. Like, it skyrocketed back in December when I told you guys about it. It's been going down, but it is losing momentum. It is losing momentum. SPXS, for those of you that want to make money when the stock market goes down, I got a sell signal back in November. It's been going down ever since. It got a little jump last month. I'm sorry, not last month. They got a little jump over here. That's on a weekly. Let's go on a daily. We'll see a lot better. Yeah, we got a little jump like last month. It was pretty scary. A lot of people were losing money here and we were making money, but the trend is still going down. That means the stock market's going up. But let's not get fooled. Let's not get fooled. Let me show you this article, actually. There was an article that I 100% agree with, Market Watch. Here we are. Pretty good article. Fed rate cut with the stock market at a record high. Here's what history says. So we can listen to all the talking heads, right? But all the rate cuts since 1990, where the S&P 500 is within 1% of the new all-time high. So back in 1990, there was a 25 basis point rate cut. The S&P actually lost close to over 14%. In 91, there was another rate cut of 25 basis points. The S&P 500 only made 3.8%. That day, it lost 0.3. Back in 91, 4 months later, market went up 1.5% that day, and 6 months to follow only went up 5.9. Fast forward to 95, negative 25 basis points. The market only did 11%. 1996, the market only did 0.6% 6 months later. As of recent history, another negative 25 basis point rate cut. It was close to 20% market correction in the past 6 months. 2019, right before COVID, market correction 7%. 2024, we have double the rate cut. That means over the past 20 something years, no, oh my God, I'm getting old. Over the past 30 years, the Fed has not even cut this much before. 25 basis points? This is why everybody was saying that they're going to do 25 basis points based on previous history. But no, we are in a bad shape, man. We got a piano upstairs we need to bring downstairs. Are we just going to push it off the ledge, off the catwalk, and hopefully it lands safely? Or do we rent a crane, pick it up, and bring it downstairs? Or do we hire a bunch of guys and slowly walk step by step down the stairs without scraping the furniture or the walls? Or even if it fits on over the handrails? We don't know. It's going to be a disaster either way. You add in a struggling job market. You add in personal savings. You add in inflated home prices, and like I said, with the labor market, the businesses don't want to hire employees. Go to a steakhouse. Go to the car wash. Go to the movie theaters. There's not enough staff because the businesses are not being profitable like they used to, because the consumer is being affected by rising inflation, and the jobs are not keeping up with inflation. The wages are not keeping up with inflation. So we got to fix all that out, man. And I don't think a simple 50 basis point rate cut is going to help. We had a lot of rate hikes in 2022 and 2023. They got a lot of, mainly in 2022, the bond market literally collapsed 30%. So I really think that treasuries are going to be the number one asset for 2024, bleeding into 2025. As they keep on lowering interest rates, those bond prices are going to skyrocket. Speaking of which, you guys know my little baby, TLT, 20-year treasury. Holla at your boy. Woo, this thing is cooking. It is cooking. I got a golden cross here. Nothing but green skyways. It is going up, baby. Going up. That's TLT. That's the safe way. But I like TMF. TMF is 3 times TLT, which is a 20-year treasuries. For those of you that are trying to make some money, you can buy the call option here at 100. Of course, not investment advice, but you can buy the January 2026 call options for a premium. Hypothetically speaking, if this hits on a $10,000 investment, if it hits anywhere near of its all-time high, close to 400, you're looking at $250,000 in profit on a $10,000 option call in January 2026. So this thing is really, really sexy. If I go to the weekly, you can really see how high this bad boy thing goes. Woof. Yeah, so this was 431 back in 2020. Death cross here went down massive because of rising interest rates. And today it is trading at a 55.88. It went down today actually with the lower interest rates. So it goes to show you the manipulation that we're seeing. But I even like it better than ever because they're going to keep on lowering interest rates. They're going to keep on lowering interest rates. And I think this is going to be the trade of the year. I feel it in my gut. Also see it mathematically and quantitatively. And from a trading standpoint, it just makes sense. $55. And it could go, the previous high was during COVID was 432. So what if it goes 50% of its number, 200? If I bust out the option calculator, you will see that a $10,000 call option would be worth about $180,000 if it hits even 250,000, roughly. It's a massive trade, guys. It's a massive trade. So look, if Kamala wins the election or they steal it for her, whatever, we're going to make some money. It's going to be fun. It's going to be great. If vaccinated Trump gets in, shoot, we're going to make some money. They're going to lower interest rates. I'll just buy the SPXL. Market crashes. They're going to crash it as soon as he gets in. They're going to pump it up as soon as Kamala gets in. It doesn't matter either way, dude. Like we are going to be flexible. You got to be flexible. And so my question to you is, what are you doing right now to adjust to the current marketplaces where you're going to make some money off of whatever scenario? It's a lot smarter than just buying this. Don't be that dumb. You say, I'm going to buy precious metals. Guys, these people are manipulating this garbage. They're manipulating it. I'm sorry. That's the hard truth. I'm not here to cater to your feelings, bro. I'm not here to cater to your feelings. I'm here to give you straight content. And you got to be smart, man, because they're putting us in a trap. The conservatives, the evangelicals, the right-wingers, the anti-vaxxers, call it whatever you want to call it. They're putting you in a trap and you're eating all up. You're motorboating. You're sucking it all down, not even knowing. Whether it's smacking you in the head with the bullet. And I don't know if you can turn your ear on time. Because they're coming for you. They are coming for you like Satan is coming for you to kill, devour, and destroy. Financially and spiritually. And to me, financially speaking, it is a representation of your spiritual life. Like if you really want to get deep, like where else does brokenness show up in your life? So you have to be confident spiritually, financially, economically, and you have to be patriotic, in my opinion. Like you cannot turn your back on America. You can't do it. I would not do it. Where else are you going to go? Where else are you going to go? I'm not going to Africa. I'm not sure that I ain't going to Canada or France. Like we are plan A, plan B, plan C. I ain't going nowhere, dude. This is my home, man. This is my home. This is where I'm born at. And my father, and as well as thousands of brave men and women, fought and died for our country. They believed in something. Our framers believed in something. I get it. I get it. Markets are rigged and these people are controlling it, but that is a victim mindset. We can still make money off of this. We can still protect our retirement. We can still do amazing things with all this. And I'm here to tell you, man, like we don't need to play victim here. We just need to take responsibility. And one way we can do that is you can give us a call, 813-448-3446, or go to CortezWM.com. We want to help you. If you just simply want to download some information and not even call us or email us, go to AmericaFirstRetirementPlan.com. Just go to AmericaFirstRetirementPlan.com and download our free guide. Doesn't cost you a daggone thing. And you can learn about our approach. But be sure to like and subscribe to us on our new Rumble channel. Please, I need some help there. We only got a few hundred followers, but I will be posting content there that you will not see on this network that you're listening to. But yeah, go over there, like and subscribe. Follow us on Rumble, Scriptures, and Wallstreet. Just put it in there and like and subscribe. I think I made like 10 cents last year. So me and Mike were so excited. Mike's my producer. We were so excited that we were just so excited. But I just want to say thank you guys for listening to us, and I'm hoping you're enjoying the content that I'm bringing and talking about the market manipulations and the politics and the New World Order and how the spiritual side of the money is massive right now. It's completely massive. It always has been. It's a really big deal. So, yeah, man, I really like TMF here. The VIX is a huge story right now, guys. Like, I really want to emphasize that the VIX is a serious thing, man. Let me zoom in here. So here we are. We have these returns. Look, past results are not indicative of future results. Okay, I want to say that first and foremost. But the power of having a safe money contract, an insurance contract that has the ability to go to treasuries, commodities, NASDAQ, S&P 500, what does that look like? And so if you haven't been receiving these type of returns since 2003, these are actual real returns. These aren't like some projected junk. This isn't some back-tested nonsense. These are real, verified, actual returns. In 2003, we made 24%. 2004, 17, a 5. The following year in 05, we made 12. 07, 9. Yes, the stock market was crashed in 2008. This index flew to safety, only lost 14%, which you would have lost 0, but this index did 14%, while the stock market literally went down 42% that year. The following year, we made 13, 21, I'm rounding the highest number, 9, a 10% in 2011. 2012, we made a 21. In 2013, we made a close to 30%. We lost in 2015 with a 0. 2016, Trump won. We made 8.8%. 8%. And then the first full year after Trump, it was 40.5%. Straight up, real numbers. The following year, December, war on tariffs. That was a terrible time in the markets. In 2018, negative 5%. We got a 0. The following year, 35%, 29%, 25.5%. In 2022, negative 19. This past year, we made 19.5%. And this year, we are up 4.5%. These are the returns that we're getting our clients. And if you want these returns, then give us a call. Or if you want something like this, or if you're not getting these type of returns, give us a call, 813-448-3446, or visit us at cortezwm.com. We just simply have to make a suitability call. Now, you can get into this and get a 20% bonus. Interest rates are lowering, and so I don't know how long this is going to be going on. They have been lowered, and the insurance companies and safe money companies are changing their participation rates. They're changing their bonus rates, their sign-on rates. So it is indicative of timing, of interest rate sensitivity. So if you call us and it's not a 20% bonus, or you're not making 100% of this index or 75% of the index, whatever they were offering, I can't promise you that. And also, everything that I'm talking about is backed by the strength of the insurance company you decide to go with. Of course, you need to have access to this through an insurance company. We have access to it here at CWM, and we want to help you. We want to help you with getting access to these contracts that you can't get at Merrill Lynch, Morgan Stanley, or your bank. You only can get them through a licensed fiduciary, independent advisor such as myself. And so these type of programs are going to be beneficial for you going into retirement. You're not sticking your money in risky assets. You're not sticking your money in should be, could be, or, the Franklin Fund that has been around since 1948 and yielded over 7% a year, but lost money in 2001, lost money in 2008, lost money during COVID, and then you had to wait to get it back. Look, those mutual funds are good for long term, but if you're retired, man, you need to protect your principal. You don't have 5 to 8 years to make your money back. And who knows what this next hit is going to be? A hit is happening. I already showed you the golden cross on the VIX. I already showed you TMF going to explode. I already showed you what happened every time they lower the interest rates. there is always a terrible market performance. Yes, you can buy silver and precious metals, but you got to be a lot smarter than that because that's so easy to be manipulated. And you are smarter than that. All you got to do is give us a call. Let us help you. Let us help you understand and navigate this manipulated rig stock market so that you can get these type of returns, so that you can have a retirement that you and your family can enjoy. You don't need to be worrying about a crashing dollar, of bank failure system, another scandemic, another inoculation, because they're going to financially inoculate you if you don't do nothing. And that's what they're planning on. So with that being said, guys, I'm out of here. God bless you. Always, always, always keep him first. May the Lord keep you. May his face shine upon you. My prayer to you is that you accept him wholeheartedly in your heart and that he can make changes in your life and that you can man up in your faith, man up in your marriage, man up in your life and in your money and in your retirement. Well, God bless you guys. I'm really tired, but I want to get this video out because today was like a Super Bowl today, man. Like all the rate cuts and anticipation of it and how it's going to affect you moving forward with the home prices and the groceries and just credit cards and car notes. It's going to change forever for the next, I don't know, 6 to 10 years. And who knows, the next decade. So today was a big day, man. Stay tuned. This weekend, I'm going to be talking about some cool stuff. God bless you. And let the markets rig all they want. We're going to be ready for it. All right, bye.